Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
I'm Jason Colthorpe at Comerica Park, and obviously the home opener is a little different when this is one of the best seats in the house. He missed the tag! He missed the tag!
Also, Michigan may have said yes to recreational marijuana, but cities across Metro Detroit have been struggling with where and how much to allow. Glad you're with us tonight for Local 4 News at 11. After 1 year of trying to hash it out, the city of Royal Oak is discussing it right now as we speak.
Our Mara McDonald is live in Royal Oak. Mara, there has been a lot of opposition to putting marijuana businesses along the Woodward corridor.
Kimberly, that's right. And as we speak, Royal Oak City Commission is passing a series of ordinances that would say, yes, you can put retail marijuana here along Woodward. Now, this is something that Royal Oak has been struggling with for the last year and a half. Now, what they're passing tonight puts serious restrictions on people who can apply for licenses to put retail pot along Woodward or to apply for a limited amount of industrial grows in Royal Oak. That said, they got an earful tonight on the City Commission from people who called into the meeting complaining about the idea of allowing retail pot along Woodward. Take a listen.
We don't give out variances to put in things. The marijuana shops should be classified as an adult business with a 150-foot buffer from residents and a 1,000-foot buffer from schools, churches, and parks.
We're trying to bring in good businesses that attract more good businesses and good consumers. And if somebody wants to buy marijuana, I'm sure that they could go to a industrial area of Royal Oak where we could have stores and distribution centers that wouldn't be along the corridor that represent Royal Oak.
Back here live, just from listening to the first and second readings of these ordinances, it is clear that there are a multitude of restrictions in them for both retail storefronts as well as industrial grows. We did go into the neighborhood here behind the Golden Basket, which is one of the spots mentioned as a potential retail storefront, to talk to some of the neighbors, and I will tell you that most of them did not have a very strong opinion. Those neighbors we were told did have a strong opinion did not answer their doors tonight. And one of the things that the city commissioners asked tonight was of the police chief. They said, hey, do you think that allowing these kinds of businesses along Woodward is going to be a drain on your resources? And the chief said, from the research he's done, his answer is no. We're live in Royal Oak tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Interesting. Okay, Mara, thanks.
Well, the Tigers did not win, but that is not why this will go down as a home opener that no one will ever forget.
That's right. No fans in attendance as the two teams combined for 8 home runs. Unfortunately, 6 of them were hit by the Royals. Let's get to Jason Colthorpe. He's live at Comerica. So, Jason, just how strange was it being there and no fans? It had to be crazy.
So strange, Kimberly, that, well, there's nobody interrupting our live shot right now. So strange that there wasn't that one party after another filling up the streets. But it was July 27th, and even though that was the date on the calendar, many people came down here because they weren't going to miss opening day.
Designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera.
How strange was opening day 2020 at Comerica? Good parking spots were easy to come by. Lots were empty enough for a game of wiffle ball. A crew was able to pour concrete in front of the stadium 1 hour before the first pitch and not once get accosted by a drunk fan hoping to leave an impression.
Buying real estate now.
So strange that last year's worst seat was one of this year's best.
It is the best seat in the house. The only seat in the house.
It's weird. It's a whole different experience.
Better still were the seats atop the Detroit Athletic Club that some folks like Max Warren were able to snag.
I can see every single player. I can see the ball being hit, and I can see everyone but the guy in the center field.
Despite it being the weirdest opening day ever, it's still tradition for many people.
We come every year.
Okay, now you answer my question.
15 years. Yeah, we come every year.
Coming down.
In '85, when we got the rings, that was amazing.
Especially for Scott Paul, who's taking in his 53rd Tigers opener.
It doesn't matter what you are, your background, your color, your creed, your political ambitions. We are all Tigers fans today.
And for fans, they still found a way to make their cheering heard from a social distance.
Let's go Tigers! Let's go Tigers!
And you know, considering a lot of Scott Paul's memories on opening day were about how cold it was or snow falling, the fact it was a gorgeous day weather-wise, maybe that's the one good thing we can take away. But guys, I'm telling you, I cannot stress enough that there is a curing piece of concrete over there, unmolested tonight, sitting there clean. Wow. It's amazing.
Really extraordinary. And it's such a nice scene behind you there with the lights, and yet you're all alone.
Yeah.
It is very, very strange.
I know,
yeah.
all alone in this brand new part of town.
All right, Jason. Bernie's going to have full highlight, unfortunately, of a loss tonight. Tigers lose at 14-6. He's coming up later on in sports. Well, tomorrow, Governor Whitmer will hold her first coronavirus briefing now in nearly 2 weeks.
The governor will update the state's response to COVID-19 at 2 p.m. You can watch that briefing live right here on Local 4 and on our website, clickondetroit.com. The briefing comes as the state today reported 488 new cases and 5 new deaths from the virus. Other headlines, the number of Detroit summer school students who've tested positive for COVID has risen by 1 in the latest round of testing. Last week, we knew of 2 positive tests. Now, out of 359 students tested, 3 are positive. The district will continue testing until it has tested all 600 summer school students.
Detroit Police Chief James Craig defending the use of deadly force by one of his officers. Today, the chief releasing body cam video from last week's officer-involved shooting, showing the rather chaotic moments just before a single shot was fired. The chief said his officer had only moments to make a decision following a high-speed chase on Detroit's east side. This happened last Thursday. The man killed by police was wanted in the shootings of 4 teenagers.
For an officer to make a decision to use fatal force, that's a decision that many times is made in just a hair of a second. It's a very difficult place to be, and I would ask any of your viewers, your listeners, put yourself in that officer's shoes, just for 1 second.
Now, the chief also addressed an officer-involved shooting that happened last night after a short foot chase. A 27-year-old man was shot several times by police in the area of Plymouth and Wyoming. Chief Craig defending his officer's actions in that instance, saying the man was shot because he wouldn't drop the gun he was carrying and ran from officers. It is the 3rd shooting by Detroit police this month. An orange barrel alert for Oakland County drivers tomorrow at 5 a.m. Northbound I-75 exit ramp to Big Beaver will shut down as part of the I-75 reconstruction project. That ramp not expected to reopen until late next month. It's going to be another day of mourning tomorrow in Washington as thousands continue to pay tribute to civil rights icon and U.S. Congressman John Lewis.
Lawmakers, civil rights leaders, and others gathered this afternoon as Lewis's casket was escorted into the rotunda at the U.S. Capitol building, making Congressman Lewis the first black lawmaker to have that honor.
John firmly focused on the future, on how to inspire the next generation to join the fight for justice.
Lewis died at the age of 80 following a 6-month battle with cancer. His body will continue to lie in state at the U.S. Capitol tomorrow tomorrow, and then on Wednesday his body will travel to Atlanta, where he will lie in state at the Georgia State Capitol before his funeral, which is Thursday. Still ahead, drivers will soon be getting some more money back from their insurance company.
Yeah, we'll have a look at how much Michigan drivers will be saving as the pandemic forces employees to work from home. Ben.
Kim and Devin from home. The showers kind of fell apart tonight, which is good news for baseball fans, not so good news for the rest of us who are desperately looking for rain. We'll see if there's any more in the forecast coming up.
All right, Ben, but first, controversy tonight involving the owners of Blake's Cider Mill, why they're apologizing about a now canceled event. Next.